Rich get richer, poor get poorer. You must have heard that expression before. If you haven't, then there you go. First time for everything. It also goes back to I want to say passage in the Bible. I haven't studied the Bible, but I know there's a phrase, a passage, or whatever that is in the Bible that basically says something along the lines of, "For he who has everything, more will be given, and for he who has nothing, even that will be taken away." Now, if you believe you are a victim to life, and if you believe that your current situation, or even your past, or even your family, or even your bloodline, or your last name, or where you grew up, or what school you went to, or any of your experiences, if you believe all that stuff is the cause of your future experience, then you're not going to have much hope. And if you hold that second phrase that I said, well, both phrases, rich get richer, poor get poorer, and for he who has everything, more will be given, and for he who has nothing, more will be, even that will be taken away. If you believe those statements for on the surface level, you don't go deeper, which I'm about to go to in a minute in this video. If you don't explore them and you don't go deeper, then you're basically sealing your fate for having a continued experience to what you've had up until this point. Now, I know you don't want that because you're watching a video about change. You're learning more about the ways of the world and the universe and how it works and how to get more and do more and be more and have more. And you're looking at making a change or a transformation in some way because you're watching this video, you're watching my stuff, you're consuming other content that's similar to it, maybe books, courses, mentors, coaches, all that sort of stuff. So, it's imperative that if we want to make a change from what we've been, what we've had, what we're currently experiencing, then we need to shift something inside of us. We don't need to do something different. That's secondary. That's after. We've got to go to the cause of our experience. And we've got to look at those phrases a little bit deeper, what they actually mean and how we can use them to benefit us. If you didn't know already, my name is Matt, and I'm here to help people get what they want. This, for me, is one of the most powerful it's the most powerful thing that you can understand, learn, adopt, breathe into, and encompass and be when it comes to getting whatever we want. Let's look at that first phrase, that first statement, rich get richer, poor get poorer. It's not because of bloodline, family, it's not because of that stuff. It's not, because you've seen rags to riches stories. So you could say, well, it works some of the time, but not all the time. No, it works all the time, and here's why. Let's take a rags to riches story. Someone like Alan Sugar. If you don't know who he is, Lord Alan Sugar or Sir Alan Sugar. Alan Sugar, business tycoon, entrepreneur, came from a council estate in London, I think, and with no money, with nothing. I think he had quite a big family, didn't have any money. So the statement poor get poorer isn't true, because he was poor in terms of cash, assets, finance, money. He was poor in that respect, but he got rich cash, assets, money in that respect. So hang on a minute, let's look at that. How did he go from poor in terms of cash and assets and to rich if the poor only get poorer and it's only the rich that get richer? It's because of who he was being. And then look at the second statement in his example, which says, for he who has everything, more will be given, and for he who has nothing, even that will be taken away and more, or whatever the phrase is. If you Google it, you'll get the exact definition of it, or the exact wording of it. He didn't have hardly anything physically, yet he could now have whatever he wants. Multi-millionaire. I don't know if he's quite billionaire status, but he's multi-millionaire. Can pretty much have whatever he wants on this planet, right? So how does that phrase work? For he who has everything will be given, and if he has nothing, even that will be taken away. He didn't have anything. So how has he all now got something? Again, it's not about the physical. It's underneath that. What Alan Sugar had, still has. He has a rich mindset. He has an abundant mindset. Even if he didn't know it, he came from the place of, I have ideas. Have ideas. And I think what he started doing was selling, or it would almost get like cloth out of the bins, and then he would like go and sell it on, or he would get like throwaway cloth or cottons or something, or materials, and then he would sell it somewhere else, or he would make something out of it and sell it somewhere else. So although he didn't physically have anything, he had an abundant mindset. He allowed ideas to flow through him. He allowed himself to create something from nothing, which is where everything comes from anyway. All the physical, all the things that you see, all the things that we can touch and feel and grab onto came from essentially nothing. Came from just, if you go right back, just energy, just light, just that's all it is. E equals mc squared. That's where that comes from. That's the essence of everything. And we all have the ability to create something from nothing, whether that's physical or not, tangible or intangible. Whether you're trying to, like what I'm talking about, like a physical person or just a feeling that you get from that person, we have the ability to create something from nothing. Because at one point, people weren't in relationships, then they created a relationship. At one point, I wasn't wearing clothes, and now I'm wearing clothes. Out of nowhere, this t-shirt that I'm wearing, the watch, the brace, it came from pretty much nothing. It came from like just an idea. This t-shirt was someone's idea once. This watch was someone's idea once. And then the means to be able to create the end, just I can't explain it. It was just there. It was provided. It was given. That's what the universe does. It's giving. It's all giving. So whatever you can imagine in your mind, there is a way to bring it into the physical. So if whatever you want that you haven't got, if you believe and come from a place of I haven't got it-ness, then you're just going to perpetuate more of the haven't got it-ness. But if you come from a state of I have everything-ness, even if your everything is the idea and the imagination to make it possible, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. It's the rich get rich. If you've got a rich and abundant mindset and way of being, you will be given all the riches and all the abundance of the universe. But if you've got this scarcity and this lack mindset, you're only going to experience more scarcity and lack, and even more of it. When you start focusing on what you haven't got, that's even what you haven't got will be taken away from you. It's why every day now, one of my daily practices is to list all the things I'm grateful for. Because I know that when I list all the things I'm grateful for, and I think of all the things that I've got, not just things like physical things like watches and t-shirts and a computer and phone and a house and car, and not when I think about the physical stuff, but I've got the freedom to think whatever I want in any moment. I've got the freedom to imagine whatever eventuality I want. I can think of anything. So can you. You've got the freedom to think of anything. You've got this abundant mind that can think of this infinite mind. And is it Deepak Chopra that says we are pretty much infinite, or we have infinite potentiality, or we are infinite potentiality? And we really are. We can bring anything out of the infinite and make it tangible and whole and physical and here right now. So if you haven't got what you want, instead of looking at not having it, and thinking of a place of lack and scarcity and I'm poor and I haven't got it, not poor as in like cash poor, but, and that might be the case for you as well, but poor as in I haven't got it. Shift your thinking into looking at all the things you have got, even if it's just a potential to create. Even if you can say, man, I've got nothing right now. You've got your ears and your eyes. How do I know? Because you're listening and you're watching this. So that's a start. There's a start of your gratitude list. I have ears to hear stuff, eyes to see stuff. Start there, and I promise you, the more things you can listen, the more you can get into a state of gratitude and appreciation for what you have got, more will be given to you. Again, it's not stuff that's made up recently by some spiritual guru online, or by me, or anybody online, or a book recently. That's like 2,000 years ago stuff. In fact, you could probably find stuff way older than that about coming from a place of abundance and I have everything right now. Because again, we are just, it's all energy, it's all vibration, it's all, that's literally all it is. And if you're coming from a place of this heavy energy of I haven't got enough and my life's this and woe is me and blah, if you're coming from that heavy energy, you're just going to attract more heaviness. But if you're coming from this, oh my God, I have so much more than I even thought I had. I've got so much more, and you stay in that vibration, you stay in that state, more will be given to you. That's why it's so important to start with you. Start every single day with you, end every single day with you. In every moment that you can, remember, oh, I've got to bring it back to me. Got to raise my energy, got to raise my state, got to think of things that I'm grateful for. Because I know that when I think of things that I'm grateful for and I put myself in a high state and a high way of being, more good is just going to keep coming. When I start focusing on the negative, more negative is going to keep coming. So in order to get what you actually want, come from a place of, as if you've already had it, you can't lie to yourself. But you come from that place of imagining that you've already got it, imagining the steps are being revealed to you of how to get it, imagining the energy, even you could, because you can flip it. You can say, well, I haven't got this, so that means I need to feel bad because I haven't got it. But then you can go, hang on a minute, I can love that I feel bad because that's the motivation I needed to go and get it. Because imagine if you had the thing, your motivation, you could argue that motivation would be down and then you wouldn't be motivated to go and do anything. For example, if you had the perfect body, you'd probably be slightly less motivated to go work out or do some exercise or eat some healthy food than if you didn't have the perfect body. So it's that desire that drives action. You could say and go, oh, actually, yeah, it's great that I haven't got the body that I want because now I'm inspired, now I'm motivated. And thinking about that body and what it would be like if I had that body, and oh my God, I'd be so excited and I feel really, really good if I had that body because it'd allow me to do all these things that I can't do now. And you get into that high state and you go, right, cool. Then you go and do the exercise. Then it just becomes a byproduct of the way you're being. It's no longer hard to exercise or eat healthy. It just becomes a byproduct of the way you're being. Rather than going, oh, I haven't got the body, I feel terrible, look at my fat, look at my rolls, look at my blah, 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 blah. No one fancies me, I can't fit into my clothes, I look so unattractive. That isn't going to get you to getting into good shape. It's not going to, it might give you a bit of motivation to start with because you might hate yourself into exercising for a bit or hate yourself into dieting, but everything is energy and eventually that hate will just catch up with you and then you'll just gorge on foods that back up the belief and the energy of you hating yourself. You can't hate yourself into shape. You can't hate yourself and shame yourself healthy, wealthy, and happy. You can't shame and guilt yourself into health, wealth, and happiness. You can't. But you can love and appreciate yourself into even more health, wealth, and happiness. Love and appreciate everything that you have right now. More will be given to you. That's all I've got for you today. If you want to support the channel, paypal.me/Coach Matt Smith. If you want to join me on the socials, there's links somewhere near this. Thank you very, very much for watching. I'll speak to you soon.